got a brave heart. I ain't scared of you, boy, I got a brave heart. I work hard every day so I can play hard. I go hard every day into the graveyard and keep a brave heart. Boy, I got a brave heart. I ain't scared of you, no, I got a brave.
Hello, this is Rich with Breathingwiththemarkets.com. Today is October 12th, 2025. I am here with Will Robertson with Breathingwiththemarkets.com, and he's one of the traders. We're here to give a progress report. How you doing, Will?
I'm doing well, thanks. Happy to be here.
Yeah, so am I. You had a great week last week. You want to get into it a little bit?
Yes, I do. And okay, where do I start with this story? Last Sunday, we jumped on a group call, and I was telling you how, like, I found that I've been having success, and I'm doing a pretty good job of knowing, like, when to get into trades, but I was partly struggling with, like, knowing when to abandon a trade and when to exit. At least that's where the conversation started. And at the time, I was copy trading all 5 accounts, and I believe at the time I was around like $400 shy of hitting my 2K buffer target in Top Step. And
take profit.
Oh yeah, I have a habit of keep saying Top Step, but it's take.
We don't want to give them any credit. Take Profit Trader.
It was Take Profit Trader.
Nothing against Top Step, but it is what it is, right?
Yes, and you guys basically, you and the rest of the crew that was on the call effectively told me, like, yes, we can talk about exit strategies, but more importantly, how much are you, like, what is the contract size you're using? And I told you that I was trading around 3 contracts. Sometimes I'd add in, get to about 6 contracts. And you're like, dude, I have no way to say this other than, like, when you do 6 contracts times, 5 accounts, you're looking at effectively, you're trading 3 minis. And this is like pure gambling at this point. And we talked a lot about how—
Well, would it be gambling for me?
No, but you're a lot more experienced than I am when it comes to trading. And so for me,
gambling, so let's go back on the gambling part. So let's break that down, because when we say contracts, some people might think that they're minis or micros or whatever.
Yeah, so I was trading 3 micro contracts to 6 and usually trading MGC is a ticker for gold, or MNQ for NASDAQ. And so, yeah, I was trading micros, but 10 micro contracts is 1 mini contract, but I was copy trading 5 accounts, at the same time. And so, 3 to 6 contracts times 5, it ends up being a pretty hefty position.
3 minis, yeah.
Yes. And so what you effectively told me was, like, listen, I think you would have a lot more confidence and patience with your trades if you just traded the accounts individually. It would make you a better trader. And I just really recommend that you consider trading these accounts individually instead of copy trading like this. You're like, I know the appeal is, like, you only catch $200 to $300 in a day, and that would be a nice payout. But it's, you have one bad trade and it can really set back all of your accounts. And so, I was listening to you guys, and I decided, like, this week I'm going to give that a try. I'm going to just trade the accounts individually and see what happens. So I started Sunday night when the market opened. I traded a little bit towards the London session, some gold, and I was able to get one account into about the buffer zone, so like a little over 2K. And so I was like, shoot, I'm really close to a payout. Like, let's see what happens in the morning during the NASDAQ session. And NASDAQ, it was awesome. I took trades on both NASDAQ and gold, several of them, just scalping. And it was exactly as you said. Like, I felt way more confidence knowing that, like, I had 4 other accounts just sitting there that were not being touched and that were safe. And I felt
unstoppable.
Yeah, I really kind of did, because I was like, I felt a little bit more confident, even like sizing into one of the trades, because I was like, it's fine. Like, if you think of it in like an analogy of like poker or a blackjack, like, I just have way more chips to play with. And so I was able to be a little bit more aggressive. On that first day on Monday, I ran that account up to it was like $1,305, and
above the buffer,
beyond the buffer. So yeah. I made over 1,700, in that day, from the London to the New York session. And I was like, this is incredible. So I just I waited till the market closed, and I issued the first payment, which was like $13.05. I sent you the screenshots.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull that up here. Well, actually, let me get into two emails first, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna get into one email, and you can go ahead and read that out loud. Can you see that, Will?
Yes. Okay. It says this was, what was this, the 6th? This was probably right after I got my first, yeah, it was right after I got the first payout. It said, you've shown me the way. It's only been a month since our first call. In that time, I passed 5 evals and I'm now getting my first payout. My accuracy and confidence are increasing each day. You've given me a gift. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with me. Then you said, I'm honored and you're a good man. You're welcome. Nothing better than to change one life at a time. Yeah, man, I was on cloud 9 when that happened. And I really do feel that way. You really have given me a gift. Like I've been doing this prop firm thing since December and doing futures since December. And I told you.
Not with me though.
Not with you. The first, like for many months, you know, I was just kind of struggling, trying to get that first payout, and it never really materialized. And then after a month of talking to you, I've now seen, well, we can get into it, but by that time when I sent that message, that was the first payout.
Nice. Let me show you another email and go ahead and read this when it populates.
Okay. This is me towards the end of the week. So I go, hey, Rich, just wanted to check in and see how you're doing. Are you feeling any better today? You told me that you had some medical issues, leading up to this. I also wanted to let you know that I caught some good trades this morning and I'm going to get my third payout of the week, $1,837. That brings the entire week to, and then I showed the totals, $4,493. Like I put the mind blown emojis because it really was like mind blowing. All because of you. Thank you for everything you've done for me. I'm shocked this is my reality and I'm now getting payouts. 3 in 1 week is wild. You are changing my life. I will send you screenshots of this one later today after they process it.
And I'll read below. Very proud of you. No one would believe you if you didn't have a witness. Trading is a skill and not subjective. Have another doctor's appointment today. Looking forward to doing an interview soon. With that said, the power of knowledge, only if you can apply it and practice it, then the rewards will come.
Yeah.
We cannot look for rewards prior to the knowledge. We cannot look for rewards prior to having the skill. We cannot look for the rewards if we don't practice each and every day. Trading is an actual skill and it must be repeatable. And it must be objective. The only thing that can be repeatable is something that is objective over and over and over in the market. A gem, when I say a gem in the market, there are gems, there's diamonds, there's golden nuggets in the market that we focus in on and we understand what they're doing and why they're doing and where they're doing it. And this is an objective way to understand where the market is heading, where it's not heading, and where the weak hands are in the market, based on how I structure and how I show you a systematic approach to trading. A systematic approach that is repeatable over and over and over again. Any time frame, any pair, any year, it doesn't matter. It repeats. What do you say about that?
Yeah, it feels like cheating. It's crazy. It's crazy. It really is. I agree with it. Based off my experience this past month, it's repeatable and across different instruments. I typically only trade, on the NASDAQ and gold, but I know it's, these gems appear in other instruments across time frames. It doesn't really matter. We're typically trading and scalping on the 1 minute time frame. It really is crazy. As long as you're patient and you look for these gems to appear and you don't over leverage, it's repeatable. I got my first payout on Monday, then I got the second one on Wednesday, and I got the third one on Friday. That one, though, I submitted the request. That one hasn't fully hit my bank account yet. I think it'll probably happen on Monday or something.
Yeah, Monday. Typically what happens is you put in for the request on Friday, when you see the yellow withdraw button on Take Profit Trader. Yep. Then when Monday comes along, it'll say, okay, now you can withdraw this amount of money. And then it goes through the process, right? So you actually go through the process and then it'll say processing, and then you select a bank after that, and then it'll say processing again or whatever, and then it'll say succeeded, yep. Right? It'll say succeeded after that. But $4,493, you've only been with me a little bit over a month, right?
Yeah, crazy.
And you've already paid for your education.
Yeah.
I said exactly what I was going to do is change lives. When I say this, I am not bullshitting. I will change everyone's life. I am not bullshitting. I will not tell you what you want to hear. I will not be what you want me to be. I am not going to be sympathetic to your feelings when we're talking about an evil game, which is the market.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to survive. How do you learn how to survive? It's not called a stop loss. It's not called risk management after a trade has been executed. It is called risk starts before the execution of a trade, and therefore you understand completely where the market is at, where the market is going to go with the highest probability at that point in time, and we execute without hesitation. And that's when we start to bank positive results, positive learning behavior, because if we don't execute those trades, when I say to execute those trades, how are you going to bank those positive vibes in your personal toolbox? I can show you repetitively over and over and over again. I even shared videos of my trading, I believe this last session too, correct? And I held for like, I don't know how many minutes was that? Like
45 minutes or something?
Yeah, something minutes with 4 or 5 minutes. I don't remember how many minis, but a lot of minis. That's a long time on a 1 minute time frame.
Yeah.
Most people are scared to death to trade minis, but what I am showing is I am actually proving to you as traders that if you are in the right area and you have the right position, that you must wait it out. You must wait. And if you can't wait, then you're over leveraged in the first place, or you have not worked yourself up to that level. And what I mean by level, it means, yes, there is a level of trading. If you've taken 20s of thousands of trades, 15, 20 minis is not going to bother you, right? So you are going to increase your size, and don't increase it because if it's working for you now, and we will go through this in other group sessions and stuff like that, because we become more and more advanced. So if you can't master the basics, if you cannot master the basics, you have nothing. So if you cannot master the objective things that I show you and what to do and how to analyze that market appropriately, without your intuition, without your opinion, without a hunch, without subjectivity in there, without you're just going to get it, there's no way there couldn't be any objectivity in the market. First of all, let's ask a logical question. If the market is fake, and I have proven the market is fake, they say, well, no, it's real, it's not fake. This he don't know what he's talking about. It is fake if it repeats itself. You don't tell me that's supposed to be accurate? No, it's impossible, right? That's like telling an electric car with no driver that there's a driver in there. That's going to get you there. Or there's someone behind there doing the map quest for you as it's driving. No. It does its thing. The market does its thing. It repeats itself. The market would not move if we just had buyers and sellers in it. It wouldn't move. Why? How could it? You mean everyone's up at the same time and everyone rushes in on the phone? Hey, buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here. Impossible. How can so many people and millions of people believe this shit? It's because they were never taught how to approach the market in a completely different way than what's posted all over YouTube. What say you?
I agree. I think that anybody who trades with that gets into trading has this inkling that they know that the market is manipulated and made up in many ways. Like you can tell that it's a rigged system. I mean, just look on a day, especially like last Friday, like where NASDAQ fell like 5,000 ticks, in like a couple candles. And we seen that there was like giant whales that took out short positions minutes before this move happened. It's like we know there's people that have foreknowledge that are making giant moves and that have insider information and are taking advantage of this rigged, manipulated system. I feel like what you've given me makes me feel more like, in a way, one of those insiders. Like I have information that most of the general public doesn't have that allows me to capitalize also on these moves. And so
we know where the move is before it happens.
You can see it like setting itself up.
And big money, because have you ever, listen carefully. It's a fact. Have you ever heard anyone with 20 or 40 years talk about how they are working on the floor with big money? Because I always say this, the least amount of money you have, the better skill you need. You don't need a skill if you have money.
Right, because that
doesn't mean a bad thing. Margin. It's if you're going to buy and hold something, is that trading? No, that's called investing.
Right.
If you're going to buy and hold overnight, that's called investing. If you're going to swing trade, that's called investing. Call it what you will. If it's overnight, that is not intraday. That is not day trading. Is investing. Don't call yourself an investor when you're holding trades, or don't call yourself a trader when you're holding trades overnight. A trader doesn't take one trade a month. A trader doesn't take 50 trades in a year. A trader, and I've always said this, the scalpers are the most aggressive and the most skilled traders out there. Do you understand why I say that?
Yeah. because you're working with, finite amount of money, and the candles are moving really quickly because it's on the 1 minute time frame. You need to be, especially if you're using leverage, like you need to be precise. Like you need to know exactly where you're at. And especially if you're trading during like a London, New York session on like NASDAQ. I mean, like I just said, look at it on a day like Friday. I mean, it was kind of a historic day, but even on a, let's just say a normal day, it can move, 300 to 600 ticks pretty normally. And if you're not in the right side, like you get wrecked really bad.
You know how many traders don't trade when it goes short because it scares the shit out of them? They don't know why. The market's designed to go up. Oh no, I'm going to just wait till it bottoms. They don't know where the bottom is.
Right.
They don't know where the bottom is. They try to pick the bottom. It's all these candles, and it's like it's down 1,200 ticks. Okay, I'm going to just take a long. It's down 1,500 ticks. So just take another one.
You ever seen that movie Dumb Money?
No.
It's pretty good. It's a story about the GameStop squeeze that happened during COVID, and it's got Seth Rogen and a bunch of other people in it. It's really good. But Seth Rogen is playing one of the institutional traders that has who had a short position who's getting squeezed, and he was losing like billions of dollars. But in that film, you can see how like they wanted to try and essentially get this guy to go belly up, but he had a couple friends come in, lent him some money. Eventually the squeeze subsided and the price kind of stabilized. He was able to exit his position just fine. And I only bring that up because it kind of speaks to your point about how if you actually have a ton of money, it's easier because you could sit in a trade for days or weeks or months and
it's not a skill.
It's not a skill.
It's not a skill. It's not a skill. It's called gambling or investing, right? Call it what you will, right? Because if you buy a stock on a dip, and this is not financial advice, if you buy a stock on a dip and it goes down from there, you have become a long-term investor. Now you may be able to get in another position. You may get in another position, but people will say, well, why hold a losing trade? What's a losing trade? It frustrates me. It really frustrates me because what the information I gave you and how I mentored you, you could go back to these movies. You could go back to GameStop and you will understand why that market went up or why that market went down objectively. Not without your opinion. That's the power I gave you because you've invested in me. And if you invest in me, I'm going to invest in you tenfold. And I'm going to give you something that you never thought you would have in your life. I just don't explain that. Does that make sense?
Makes total sense. I wanted to show you something. I connected my accounts to TradeZella, just to show some percentages and stuff.
Here, go ahead and keep it up there. And I'll block out personal information if there's personal. Just hold it right there.
What I wanted to show, though, was the percentage, the accuracy rate, 83%.
Yeah. That's impossible. What is the bald-headed guru support resistance trader? No one can have an 83% hit rate. I don't know anybody that can do that. You know what? Hanging out with the wrong people, man. You know what I mean? Oh, no way. 83%.
323 wins, 5 break even, and 65 losses, but 83% win rate.
Here's the kicker to this. Okay, here is the kicker, and listen to me carefully. When you lose $1 on a spread, when you lose $5 on a spread, when you lose $10 on a spread, that is called a loser. There are people, same guru and others, that say, oh, I don't count anything. Everything's a break even. If it's less than 500 or more than 500, I just call it a break even. No, it's either a loss or a winner. Right? That's how you get an accurate percentage, right? So what I am showing you, what I am teaching you is this is third-party information. This is not some third-party information, 500 to 1 leverage where you can actually take a position long and short. Did you know the third-party offshore accounts, 500 to 1, they actually allow you to take a position long and short on that same account? Geez, I wonder where they got that from. When they start to accuse others of taking a position long and short, guess what those people are doing? You know how those people come out and they accuse someone else of doing it, but they're actually doing it themselves? Yeah. That sounds like bullshit, right?
Yes.
So my point is, you cannot do that at Take Profit Trader. They will immediately close your account. Okay? And if you're doing it somewhere else, well, you're fake anyways. Because you're fake, right? So anyone doing that anyways is fake. Yeah. Why, if I know where the direction of the market is, Will, why in the hell, I know if I go against what I show you, I'm going to lose my ass every time. Why would I even size in? I don't need to guess. Why? Because I actually have a skill. If you have a skill to learn how to drive and you can drive, then you can teach your kids. Mm-hmm. If you don't have a skill and you have your opinion and you have your intuition and you have your, it's just going to take experience, son. Don't worry about it. It's like the Bad News Bears, right? Let's just think about this in reality. There are so many people that have 15,000 followers, 60,000 followers. And I listen to these traders speak and I'm like, oh my God, they're infecting 15,000 traders throughout the world and they're chasing a dream. Did I ever tell you you're chasing a dream? You're going to it's not about a dream. If I didn't have a skill, how could I teach you?
Right.
I have to have an actual skill. I can back a skill up. Once you say you have a skill, it puts you in a different category. That where someone says, prove you have a skill. And you go, well, I had a bad day today. Well, I had another bad day. Oh, I had another bad day. Oh, it's just the market. That's not a skill. It doesn't matter whether the market goes up or down. When you have a skill, you can do what? You can trade it.
Yeah.
So do you really understand what you have inside of you that I cannot take away from you? Nobody can take away from you? I'm not so sure that almost $5,000 in a week or $4,500, which could turn into $18,000 a month, hypothetically. I have no doubt that you might have $20,000, $30,000 months, but no, that's not a goal. The goal is a skill. And as you continue to learn that skill, I'm going to keep pressing you and saying, Will, it's been 4 more months. What, are you scared? What do you mean I'm scared? Yeah, you scared? You need to bump it up, brother. What do you mean? Don't be scared. Bump it up. I'm going to push you because it's my job. It's my job to push you guys and girls and gals and women, okay? It's my job. It's nothing against anyone. I'm here to push. I'm here to bring the best out of you. I'm here to, once you feel comfortable and I understand your trading, I understand your language with me, I understand where you're at, I'm going to push you. Just like I did this past weekend.
Yeah.
I said, no, you want to become a better trader? Trade them all individually and prove to yourself your skill and become a better trader. Anybody can gamble or anybody can copy trade. I'm not allowed to trade at the big houses. Why? Because they don't want me to take $300,000 accounts, 20 of them, and trade, itsy bitsy.
Yes.
All of a sudden, we're not paying you. Hell no, that's gambling. No, we're not paying you. You're a windfall trader. What would you have to say? They're calling me a windfall trader?
They just don't like winners, and I think what you do is very unusual. I mean, of all the traders, how many are actually profitable? And then even amongst profitable traders, the people that can trade like you, like scalping and with like large contract sizes with a high hit rate, it just doesn't. People, it's so rare. Like you're the only person I know that I've encountered that can do that, and so. I think from their standpoint, they're like, this guy's either has to be cheating some way or gambling, getting lucky or whatever. Either way, we just don't want to pay him,
Well, you can't get lucky when you hit rates in the 90s and stuff like that, right? And then you look at the losses and they're like $2, $3, $2, $100 on one, $10, $5, right? Yeah. And then that adds up and they're like, they can actually see all those records and stuff like that and go, no, this is not going to work for us.
The numbers don't make sense.
Correct. The numbers don't make sense. So this is why I say that if people have records and leaderboards, you cannot have a leaderboard and a record that is actually validated if you do not allow all traders to trade. You cannot have that. Yeah, they do, but it's fake. Again, it's a fake leaderboard. Great. Someone got a great payout. Lucky them. I'm not saying they didn't know how to trade. I'm saying they're lucky that they got paid.
Yeah.
Because I don't trust them. And why do I don't trust them? Because I know my hit rate. I know my thing. I'm not going to run up 20 or 30 accounts and then have all of this emotional thing and go, I'm going to get a $5 million payout, one of the biggest payouts. And then they go, deny. Because even with Apex, if you don't take a payout over a long period of time and you go to take a payout and they deny you, that means you have to make that same amount of money. They did it to me before. That you have to make the same amount of money in that span of time to prove that you can do it. Oh, my first $10,000 payout. My first $10,000 payout with Apex, I was denied. I trade all the accounts individually. 5 of them individually. Impossible that I was in all the trades at the same time. Make sense? I didn't copy trade. Individually. And that's back in the April when they were having this, no DCA, no this, no that. And what really caught my eye is one of their affiliates who was admitted gambler who has taken $200,000 or $300,000 from them and still on their books, the time that all the first big denials came down at Apex, he must have had a whisper in the ear. That was the first time, and I've been watching him for a while, the first time he didn't put in for a payout. And he had money to put in for a payout. You mean to tell me, I mean,
We didn't get flagged.
I'm a retired investigator. You mean to tell me that, whoa, pattern break?
Yeah.
He got word. Will he admit it? Of course not. Of course not. But a guy that puts in payouts every time, all of a sudden, when they're going to implement their scrutiny on all of these traders and deny 20s of millions of dollars or however it was, which was a lot, he decides not to put in for it and trade another 10 days.
That's crazy.
Fishy. So they allow affiliates. So we as traders are not treated the same. Therefore, what I've taught you and what I will continue to teach you and preach and show and prove is as I collect data and as you collect your own data, you will see, believe nothing you hear and half of what you see. So if you read something, believe half of it. I don't care if it's positive for you or negative for you. Just believe half. That's why I keep saying that over and over again. In the market, we don't have an opinion. Just do exactly what I show you and execute without hesitation. What do you think about that when you look at a chart?
I think it's great advice. I think without giving away like sauce, like the market is there to like draw you in. It's there to like confuse you. It's reminds me of, in a way, being in the the casino where you've got like loud noises, lights going off. Like they're trying to put you in kind of like a trance, a hypnotic state, so they can just take your money. And I think it is good advice to not believe everything you see and hear, to try and discern between the lines, like what is actually happening here.
And when I say we don't follow the herd and don't follow the herd, and the herd is 95% not profitable, and then the profitable traders above that, there's a large percentage of those people gambling, and they have resources coming in from other people. So traders that actually have a skill, I believe it's like 0.5%.
I bet that's accurate.
That actually has a skill. And you are a self-made engineer coding for over 20 years, and you understand formulas. Engineers are probably the hardest people to teach. And the reason being is because they don't accept, well, this will just work, or that will just work, or I'll go around this. No, they are so stuck on this formula or on this. If it doesn't work, they are going to find a way, but it's going to be something that must work all the time.
Yeah, it's the systemic thinking. I totally know what you mean. I can see it in myself. It's like you like a computer. You program it to do a certain thing, so you expect the same results. You want the the procedure just to work. And trading is, I don't know. Like in a way, I feel like you have given me that. You have given me a system that does feel like it. Or how can I word this? I mean, you saw my hit rate. It was like 83%. And some of those trades that I took losses on, I actually think probably could have been wins if I wasn't copy trading like we were talking about.
Oh, that was part of the copy trading?
That was the entire lifetime of the account. In fact, it's probably worth mentioning on there because
that's multiplied too. So that's once again.
Yeah, exactly. And so you have given me a system that has a high hit rate. So it kind of does, in a way, satisfy my engineer mind. But I think most people, they're stuck doing what you see on YouTube, support, resistance. They're just trying to it's random anyway, whether it goes up or down. All that matters is that you keep your risk management in check. It's a probabilities game. And
how can it be a probabilities game without a skill?
Exactly.
There's a probability that you're going to lose everything that you have unless you have money coming in and you YOLO. So the probabilities, and how many times have you seen somebody create a course on a 1-minute compounding course, but they can't trade, and then they take $1,000 and then they say, if you lose 1,000, then put another 1,000 and get it up to 10,000, and then over a period of time, you may win only once, but one winner erases the entire bucket. Have I ever told you something like that?
Not once, ever.
If I do, reach through there, grab my neck, slap the shit out of me. I've never heard, have I ever said, well, most traders will lose. Well, most traders lose. And you're probably going to lose. Do I talk like this to you guys?
No.
In traders?
No, you say stuff like, go against the system, you'll most likely lose. Like even you, when you go against the system, you'll lose.
Yeah.
But like as long as you're actually following what you teach, like there's no reason why you should lose.
Correct. And who wants that feeling? Nobody can imagine it. How could we explain in words? Like true words. Like how could we actually explain that there is a system? I do teach a skill. There is a skill that you will have a lifetime. And it's not called guessing.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I feel that already. Like it's only been a month and I can feel the skill developing. And I keep saying it's just crazy to me to think how much I've improved in such a short amount of time. And, you know, I typically trade every single day. And so just as I continue building up the repetitions, I don't know what it's going to be like, 3 months from now or a year from now.
Could you imagine 5 years if you started with me 5 years ago?
And I wish. I wish I could go back in time. Totally.
Right? I mean, think about it. So see the skill, because it's like anything. Whether you have a career, engineering career, or a restaurant manager, going from one restaurant to another and seeing how different restaurants operate and incorporating some thoughts or some opinions or some things that worked at other restaurants, or how you do the menu, or I don't know, all of this stuff. But my point is, a skill has an opportunity for growth. Guessing and intuition has no opportunity for growth other than to the downside, because our opinions will change based on our age, based on the availability, based on how much money we have or don't have, based on the platform, based on the mentality of that day. Because I have been down and out for the past couple of weeks, and I could come to the chart and I did trade some, but I didn't post anything, and I did well, but I was only able to do like 30 seconds to a minute, and then I went back to lay down. But the skill was, because I was in bed and I looked at my phone, I'm like, oh shit, I need to get out of bed, man. And then I get to the computer and the computer's not open. I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta wait for this, and I'm hitting the button and I'm like, oh, finally opens. And then I gotta log in and I'm like, oh God, I gotta wait for this, right? So I see it, so the best thing to do is don't open the phone on the bed. Don't open the phone on the bed. But then I just have to see, I'm like, okay, I know the guys and girls and everyone else, I know they took it all short today, or I know that they are banking it.
I will say that's something that has helped me tremendously too. Like not trading on the phone, trading from the computer. I try and only do the computer, and it has helped a lot. You can just see a lot more information. It's just better. Like being on the phone is too. It just adds more risk, in my opinion.
Very small.
Yeah.
Very small and different mindset. It is a different mindset. Now, trading options on a phone, you're buying and selling options. You see that, but that's a long period of hold time. Once again, that's investing, right? So, right? So you can punch, options all day long on the phone if you wanted to. So let me ask you something. We have other traders. We have a lot of traders, but we have other traders that post. Just did a video on Sire last night. There's other traders that are wanting to even boost their account. I have another trader's at $7,000, and I'm like, take a $5,000 payout. Just take the payout. And they want to set these goals and bars higher and higher, because prop firms are not your friends. They're not like your enemies either. It's just their system, right? Yeah. So, pay yourself. I teach, pay yourself, take the payouts like you would as an actual trader. Sitting there holding $150,000 YOLO and all that stuff. First of all, don't come with me if you YOLO'd, because I don't believe in it, and it's not. And all you're doing is going to ruin the work that you put in. It's a fact. It's going to ruin the work that you put in. You could still get to $150,000 by turning it each and every day. You can get there, and it's not about the money. So flow with the market and enter the trade, and don't have a TP target. Don't have a target. Allow the market to breathe. And when it goes against you and you understand the market, you smack it again, and you smack it again. And you will see the growth. You will see the growth, and you will see your P&L grow, and you will understand that what a losing trade is. A losing trade is, and I said this the other day, is not knowing where the hell you are in the market in the first place.
Yeah.
A losing trade is pushing the button saying just win more than you lose. That is a losing trader's mindset. That is a gambling mindset. Why would you just push a button and wait? Because on the higher time frames, you even at more risk. More risk. And what they don't tell you is they pile up on these positions on a higher time frame, and they look for 10 pips. 10 pip Sally. So if you have 50 lots on 10 pips, figure it out. 5,000 or 50,000 micros for 10 pips, and then they throw their arms up like, whoa, yes, I'm a multi-million-dollar guru. That's not trading. A market moving 10 pips? Congratulations, but you're not going to teach that, because who has 50 lots.
Yeah.
Think about it. So if we took the same 50 lots on our trading style that I taught you, you would see some $1 million days.
It'd be powerful.
It would be so powerful. I've had firms not want to pay me as it's 12,000 ticks down in the dirt. Just zzz. They didn't pay me. They wouldn't pay me. I thought they would, and found out they won't pay somebody that really truly knows how to trade. I took the Dow short and went 1,200 ticks down off the open. I knew where price was going to go based on what I show you. I got in heavy, zapped, all the way down, 2 candles, boom, boom.
Oh, wow.
Stuck in the sand at 1,200 ticks, zzz, able to take photographs, able to send it, could not close my position on their feed, on their information, could refuse to close the position, refused. 8 hours later, I could not even close the position 8 hours later. And then finally it closed itself. And I called them and had all the photos. It was like silence.
Wow.
Silence.
Dude,
Yeah. So
they're criminals, man.
correct. It'll happen, right? So picture this. So if you have 20 accounts and you have $200,000 in every account, well, then your consistency rule, right?
Yeah.
Say you don't have a consistency rule and I had $200,000 on each account. I understand where the market's going. You know what I'm doing?
Smacking it.
Whoa. All of a sudden, a $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 million day, they're going to go, hell no. Hell no. 300,000 each contract? Hell no.
It's
right?
a good problem to have, though. Be so good that they don't want your play.
But you understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, so leverage, right? It's when you have the skill, it doesn't matter because the
moves are the same.
The moves are the same. The thought process is the same. What we do systematically is the same. Leverage is just what's available.
Yeah.
And I teach you how to start from zero each day. Mm-hmm. So I'm teaching you how to start from zero each day. That's why I want you guys and all the traders to take out the payouts. Take the payouts. Pay yourself. Take the payouts because you can start at zero each day. Whether it be a new account, whether it be the account with less drawdown, it doesn't matter. Take the payouts and understand this is not a one-time thing. You've gained a skill that's going to last a lifetime.
Well said. I agree. I'm excited that I'm on the path.
Great. Now, sorry for taking over a little bit. Is there anything that you would like to say or how you feel inside? I know you're looking for some type of retirement coming up.
Honestly, I feel pretty ecstatic. For a little while, or for quite some time, I've actually been looking for a second job, and this income that came in this week was pretty serious, and it was substantial. And I don't want to get too ahead of myself. Mm-hmm. I just take it a trade at a time, a session at a time. But I am optimistic about the future, of trading. I've grown a lot in just a year, it's been 2 years since I started trading, and I've been on this futures thing in the prop firms for it's been about over 10 months. Maybe it's like almost 11, and but with you for like about a month. I would say that to anybody that's not a part of this community, if you're thinking about it, it's what Rich is saying is real. Like, he really does have a good understanding of the markets, and you're not going to be able to find this information in a book or in YouTube. I know, because I've read about every good book that they recommend with trading, and the knowledge that you would learn through this it's unique. And if you want to actually learn how to trade, I highly recommend Rich. Breathing with the Markets. It's been amazing to me, and I'm looking forward to continue learning from you and growing. So thank you.
We still have a lot to do, and I'm going to push all of you traders. And so this is. I
do appreciate all the pushing too. Like, I was really holding on to that copy trading, and I've been doing that for so long. And some of the stuff you said, it was like. It's like a hard pill to swallow on Sunday, but I was, what? I gotta trust the process. I gotta, I was paying you to teach me for a reason. You know more than I do. So I decided to put it aside. You know what? I was actually surprised too. Like, at the payouts that I got, like the size of them, and that was trading individual accounts. Like, I didn't even think I'd be able to like get those types of numbers trading them individually. And in a way, I found it was actually easier because of the not feeling so much stress over like I'm getting a each trade is affecting, all 5 accounts. So anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is I appreciate like you checking me in when I need it and helping, guide me. It's been an awesome journey, and it's only been like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, something like that.
Can you see the website here?
Yes.
We'll just wrap this up, but I want to show you something, what I said, okay? Hear this bullhead down here. What does this say?
Skill first.
And do you understand why I say that?
Yes.
And then read this down here.
You must be able to surrender your opinion to learn. Yeah.
So a lot of traders that come, from various backgrounds and stuff like that, and my opinion doesn't matter. If I told you what my opinion was, that wouldn't help you because you may ingest it differently. Why do you say that? I'm a show, like you have to show someone what you mean. So you've asked me, remember I invited you to the group session, right? Because I didn't want to answer your question. I wanted to show you, correct?
Yes.
Because I'm not one to believe that I know everything. And I'm not one to believe that I would answer your question as if I was educated enough to do that. But I wanted to actually show you so you had the best understanding of exactly what I was doing and what I meant. How do you feel about that?
I love it. You back up what you say by also demonstrating it, and that's more powerful. You're right. I asked you a question through Discord. You invited me to the group on the call on Sunday and showed me a video of you trading, kind of demonstrating it, and then we talked about it in quite a bit and allowed me to ask questions. It was amazing. I loved, like you said, you showing and kind of through your example, like how you do it yourself.
And I didn't record this video just for you. I had recorded the video.
No, you were doing another session with somebody else and
Correct.
Happened to see a setup while you were talking that so you jumped into that trade and it was all unplanned.
and with another student, right? Yeah. So it was live. It was there, and that trade was about 40 minutes or so, with three minis, I believe, or something like that in the market. Short. Here, the next one I'll read. It says you must be able to surrender your competitiveness to thrive. That's a big problem and an issue that we have in today's society. Well, we as traders should not compete against others, nor ourselves. We must be able to learn a skill and be able to repeat that skill over and over and over again. Drop the competitiveness in order to learn. Here on number 3, you must be able to live outside of your comfort zone to succeed. So that's where, when you start to feel comfortable, I am going to continue to push you over and over and over again. And then down here at the bottom, never surrender your success as a final resting spot. You have just begun. So there's nothing really to celebrate, okay? Because I said once you pass your test accounts and once you start to get payouts, you've now set yourself up to repeat those. And this is where the skill is starting to show remarkably. And in a short period of time where you're taking almost $5,000 out in a week, which is already paid for your education, and now you've earned that baseline, that foundation, that skill. And the last 2, you must allow the markets to breathe. Do not choke the markets. Using a stop loss, traders choke the markets. Do you understand why I explain allow the markets to breathe?
Yeah, definitely. It's like the market is constantly going through those periods of contraction and expansion. And if you oversize, you're not going to be able, you'll get knocked out on like the slightest little pullback when you're still on the right side of the market, if you're following your teachings. So you gotta allow the markets to breathe.
Mm-hmm. And then lastly, having patience inside the market is more valuable than outside of the market. Mm-hmm. So we have skill first, integrity, manifesting, which is very important, dedication, focus, and don't quit. And patience inside the market is more valuable than outside the market. That is a fact. Understanding where you're at in the market and allowing the market to produce for you. The market is manipulated. It always will be, and it will always be there.
Yes. Yeah, it is very manipulated. And I do love all those different values and things that you have on your website. They definitely speak to me. I love the first one, like surrendering what you know. Like I remember when we went into our first session, you're just like pretty much just forget everything you've learned. I remember just like the first like 10, 15 minutes.
I heard a glass break in the background. No.
I remember in the first like 10, 15 minutes though, you started showing me stuff that I'd never heard before. And I was like, okay, like, yes, all that other stuff must have been worthless,
And now look at you today. Yeah. Verified, third party, not your own account, not doctored. You don't have control of the system. You don't have control of you didn't buy a third party where you sync your information and trades into. It is legitimate from, or whatever it is, right? And you can even go to our trader. Pro, whether you know this or not, you can go to our Trader Pro if you're on Take Profit Trader or you're using Rhythmic, and it will also give your hit rate and stuff. And I don't know if you're aware of that, but I can show you how to do that in a group session. So it's under your R Trader Pro, and you go in there and look under performance or positions, and that will also help you get out of a position if for some reason the platform you're on is not working or frozen. You want to have your R Trader Pro up on a screen somewhere, or availability down in your tagged area, that you can populate it quickly and close out the positions. So there's tons of knowledge that we're going to continue to learn and grow, and so much to learn. And I got so much inside of me to get out.
I'm ready for it. I'm looking forward to learning.
Thank you so much, man. Any final word?
Final word? No, just thank you. Thank you for everything. I'll keep you posted as I continue to trade, and I'm just really excited for future trades and continue to develop the skill.
Very good. Wow, you're welcome, and I am honored to have you. Like I said, I mean that. It's an honor to see how lives are changing, how traders are actually changing, how they're actually gaining a skill. I can't take that away from you. No one can take it away from you. I've given you the information. I showed you the information. You've practiced the information. You're applying the information, and at the same time that you're applying it, you are getting reward for the good behavior. That's a fact. You will be rewarded for the good behavior, and the good behavior comes from having trust in someone, and having trust in the process, leaning forward and allowing that scary looking market to produce for you, because we trade for the future.
Yeah.
But we don't, I better get in now and write it, and then it dumps. No, we're already there.
I will say, like, once I got the first payout, it was like, it just felt, for the longest time, it was like this mythical thing, like, oh, I'd like to get the payout eventually. And when I finally got it, and it was like, that was awesome. But I was like, oh, I know I could do that again. 2 days later, the second one, 2 days later, the third one. It's like, I know that as long as I just stick to what you're teaching me, like, this is highly repeatable. And, man, it's really exciting just knowing that. this is something that I can continue to repeat, week after week.
Yeah. So, what does your family or your loved ones say? What do they?
I just excited too, just that this is finally bearing fruits.
Yeah. Very nice. Well, thank you, Will, and you have a blessed day and with your family, and thank you for taking the time on the weekend. Weekends are valuable for family and friends and everything. So I really appreciate it, and the community also appreciates it. And take care of yourself.
Thanks, Rich. Take care. Peace.